nobody give a damn about you.
Right. Exactly.
That's why we must be out here to restore our decayed state. You asked about these other nations. What about your people?
Right. Bring it out.
That's what you must be able to walk away with, Terry. That's what you must be able to walk away with, Aaron. And that's why we out here trying to compel our people to come over here and have this conversation. We out here destroyed, man. Give me that in Nahum, I think it is. I want Nahum 3:1. Nahum 3:1, because actually you can hold that. Give me Psalms 82 just to be on the safe side, because there's no accident. My brother asked y'all earlier about who out there promotes the whoredom that we see on TV, that we hear in the rap songs, right? You know what I'm saying? All that stuff that we see.
Break it out.
You said what?
Harlotry.
The what?
Harlotry.
Harlotry, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? We may be the ones that are rapping the songs, but who are the ones who are writing those checks to promote that?
Right. We all know.
Who's pushing that? I challenge both of y'all. Give me 5 top songs that are played on the radio that don't got nothing to do with killing your own brother, with whoring out your women, destroying your people with drugs. 5 top songs. Any of them.
I could say Public Enemy. That's about it.
You said Public Enemy?
Yeah.
Well, 911 in Tokyo Town?
Yeah.
1.
I don't remember everything.
Right. But you get the point though, right?
Yeah.
This is what your enemies are doing, because they want to saturate your community with all of sin, all these things that are going to keep you in sin, because we can't receive the blessing if we're not keeping God's commandments. That's what we must understand. Your enemies are the ones who are setting this up. Give me that right there. That's what I want to read.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 2.
Bring it out.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
It says your enemies make a tumult. That means they're gathering together. Remember what we read about Sanballat and them trying to come against Nehemiah when he wanted to rebuild the temple.
Like a powwow.
Think tank.
Gathering.
Think tank.
Think tank.
Right. You know what I'm saying? A riot. A ruckus. You know what I'm saying? Think tanks, things like that. Y'all remember what we read in Deuteronomy 28, verse 68? It said, and ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Bring it out.
It's those same exact people. The same nations who want you in captivity are now making a tumult. What are they doing? What are they doing when they get together? Read.
And they that hate thee.
It says your enemies hate you. That's not hard to be understood, because Terry, I'm not going to ask you to say your age, but I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot of history. You know what I'm saying? Those of us who may not be the same age, we know about it through reading books or watching documentaries and so forth. You've seen that. You've seen the hatred that our enemies have against us. Your friends, your brother would never put you on slave ships. They would never put you under shackles. You know what I'm saying? Your friends, your enemy would never cause it to where you live in the slums, in the ghettos, in the hoods. Piss-infested, rat-infested apartments. Giving you the worst education. Your friends wouldn't do that. It says your enemies hate you, and they show you that by daily things. We know if the police pull up, all they got to do is say, I'm scared for my life, and they're going to kill us. And we know that they're not going to suffer any repercussions. So your enemies who hate you, this is prophetic. This is coming out the Bible. Again, because the leaders are supposed to warn their people. The leaders are supposed to warn the generation coming after. Your enemies that hate you, read.
They have and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
It says the enemies have taken crafty counsel against your people. Again, that's your think tanks. What's the crafty counsel? Read.
And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Your enemies have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That's very important. Right. Your enemies have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Now, if there's a country over in Israel with the Jewish people, Aaron, how could it say that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance when ever since we've been born, we always knew it was a Jewish country? It was Jewish people over there. So what does it mean that the name of Israel would be no more in remembrance? It means that the true Israelites, the true Jews of this Bible, would forget their nationality, which is why you mentioned just a minute ago about how you've been watching us and that's how you start to learn who you are. Hopefully you're starting to get the same understanding right here today, because before you watched those videos, before you came up, you was calling yourself black, African American, Negro, colored, human, Christian, Islam. That is not your nationality. You would be the ones who will forget your nationality. That's why it said your enemies would do that. Why would they want you to forget your history? want you to forget your nationality? Give me that Judith 5. Why would they not want you to know who your identity was? Y'all familiar with the Asians who were put in the concentration camps during World War II? They were enslaved for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't suffer like we did. But was their nationality ever removed?
No.
Right. The Irish people who came over here, the Russians, the Chinese, the Caucasians, all of them can go back and say, I can do my DNA and I know where I come from in Europe. You know what I'm saying? I come from Ireland or Poland or whatever the case may be. Scotland, right. We say that we African American, but when I challenge you to say what country in Africa you come from, I don't know. That's how they were able to cause Israel to be no more remembrance. We would lose our identity.
Right.
We lost who we were, so now we just use a generic statement. We was kings over in Africa. I'm African American. Well, bro, what country in Africa do you come from? It's over 50 countries. And if you go back over there, are they gonna claim you and say, welcome back home, bro? We just read in Galatians 4, Jerusalem is our homeland. That's our motherland. We forgot it. We fell away. Now, why would it be so important for when you were bought as slaves for them to say, you no more Kunta Kinte, but you told me? Why would it be so important to change your last name? What was so powerful about that name? Remember, we read Genesis 6. Israel has power with God, but Smith and Terry and Aaron don't mean a damn thing. There's no power with God with that. This is what your enemies know why it was so important to strip away our identity, to strip away our power to read and understand this Bible. Read this right here.
That's the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20.
This is your enemies coming together making that tumult. Read.
Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people.
So these are our enemies consulting on how to overcome the Israelites at this time. He's telling his captain, his army leader, let me tell you, sir, if there be any error in these people, that error means sin. That error means sin. If there be any sin in these people, so if the men are pouring out their women, if they're killing one another with the guns that we put in their communities, because we don't manufacture guns and we don't manufacture drugs on a high level, but yet it finds its way into our community. If there be any error in this particular people, read.
And they sin against their God.
And they sin against, I thought God loved everybody. Our God, right? Your enemy says something very specific. Read that part again.
If there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God.
Because we have the only one true living God. All these other nations with Islam and Buddha and Krishna, those are false gods. Those gods don't mean a damn thing. They might as well be worshiping the God of grass, because it ain't gonna do a damn thing for them. You have the one true living God, and he gave you his wisdom in his Bible, and yet we reject it. We don't give a damn about it. And that's why he said, I'll put you in slavery, because you don't want to follow a simple commandment as have your head uncovered, as far as marrying your women, taking care of your people. I'm gonna oppress you. Read that. Read.
What is considered that this shall be their ruin.
So it says, if there be any sin or error in these people, and they sin against their God, let it be considered it's going to be their ruin. It's going to be their downfall. Right. Why would it be our downfall if we're in the midst of sin? Read.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation. So God would not defend us. Remember it said we have power with God. That's the name of Israel. God would not defend us. God would not fight our battles because we're in the midst of sin. Matter of fact, Terry, you got kids, right?
No.
You don't got kids, okay? But you get the understanding, you know what I'm saying, of if your child is doing right, you're gonna bless him. If he's not, you know what? Okay, you know what? Fine. I told you 5 million times which is I stole. I'm gonna let you touch it then. It's the same thing with us. If you don't want to keep my commandments, I'm gonna let the other nations rule over you. Simple, just like that. You know what I'm saying? And the other nations know that. So if I want to have their God not defend them, well then let me make sure that the most popular music promotes sin. Because Terry not home to take care of his kids. Aaron not home to take care of his kids, and the mama at work all day, so my music, my TV shows are gonna raise your children for you. And then my police that are on the streets, because they have no understanding of how to respect their elders, how to respect their brothers and sisters, my police are gonna also pass that judgment from God. Because we're not there to be in our children's lives. That's what the other nations know. All this stuff, matter of fact, that's part of the crafty council. Because if you get a felony, if you get pretty much like a felony, stuff like that, which laws are set up to put us in jail, right? That's part of the crafty council. The laws are set up to put us in jail. Now we have a felony. Now we can't raise our kids. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, finish that out. Because it's a lot, man. It goes very deep, and a lot of this stuff we already know. The thing is now of how does that translate with the Bible? Go ahead, read.
Verse 21, but if there be no iniquity in their nation.
However, if they keep God's commandments, there is no sin. Read.
Let my Lord now pass by, lest their God defend them.
Lest their God defend them. Lest their God defend them. And that's how we're going to be delivered out of this captivity that we call America.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.